Mondays are for winners. So get up from your bed and get right into the groove. You know, happy mood.
Good morning to you.
Morning. Good morning.
It's a brand new week for you, isn't it?
And what happened? You lost your glasses?
No, I've decided to try and do without it because I know I can do without it. Plus, everybody's been complimenting me without them, so I'm going without it. Thank you very much.
Well, let's get right into the flow of the new week.
Absolutely.
It's a new work week. I can feel it's going to be a great week.
Oh, yes. So, if you love life, don't waste any of your time because time is what life is made out of. And that's a lot of motivation to start your week with, isn't it?
Yes, plenty of it. So whatever you are, wherever you are, be good at it, okay? Impossible is just an option.
Only an option. So get rid of those mental monsters or fear and worry and all of that. Just reach for the stars. It's a brand new week. It's a Monday. Let's get it started, people.
Yes, welcome to a blessing-filled week. I am Mary Bashua Alimi.
And of course, my name is Mazino Appeal. We ask that you stay tuned for the whole 3-hour breakfast television experience here with us on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, do not forget to stream the show live at TVC. That's tvc.tv and on Facebook at tvcentertainment.tv. And of course, at TVC Connect for Facebook. Send in comments using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC.
So you can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store. Remember that one now. You can watch us on your mobile devices from anywhere, even in the bathroom and anywhere around the world.
Yes. Now, we also strongly recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment TV on YouTube, for more of our videos. Loads of them.
And you can catch up with us on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. every time we have something very special. So we call it Wake Up Extra on IG Live, by the way. If you're not following, make sure you're following that
yes,
one. Yes,
at TVC Connect. Easy peasy. Yeah, just press that click.
Yes, and see, I did it without the glasses.
Yes, he did it without the glasses.
Mazino, it's the MMM squad.
Hey. We are not here to defraud anybody, though.
Who coined that?
Oh, wow.
Who coined that?
I saw that on Instagram last week.
The last time we're together, all three of us. You're looking very dapper
I have to
today.
tell the other guys to change their name. They have to find a way to put M in their name.
Who's that? Oh,
it's like a BDM show.
MM's got one.
No, if MM was there, it would have been MMM.
Oh.
Like, you know.
Don't leave me, don't leave me. Don't leave me.
I know.
Great sporting weekend, wasn't it?
My God.
Okay, you know what? Let me just leave now so you can...
Yeah, please.
You know, because...
Aki, Ajiblis, can you take Mazino out
I'm
of
not
here?
really
Like
a football person, but it was good, wasn't it?
My gosh, yesterday night. So I don't want to say, okay, I had the fortune, not the misfortune.
Oh, you bet it.
Of
Okay,
having to be at work. So I was on radio last night while the match was playing.
Okay.
And I would be talking something serious, and then I'll just be like,
so you were watching while the show was going on.
It was a struggle to focus.
Why did you
and I
just
held on.
change the
I
show to a
did
sports
very
show?
well.
Yes, no.
And then as I was signing out, though, that
That's when
was
they
how
scored.
Mbappe missed another goal.
Oh.
I was like,
Wait,
okay,
you were
thank you
expecting
so
PSG
much.
to win?
I was like, thank you so much for listening and all. Oh my gosh! I mean, I'm so sorry. I'll see you next Sunday.
The only thing I could remember, the only thing I caught was Neymar crying after the match. She's PSG, isn't it?
It's PSG. It's PSG. It's a crybaby though, but it's still painful.
I won't take him seriously.
It's still painful.
No, do take him. If they had won, he would probably have a shout in for the World Football of the Year. But he didn't, and of course, as we expected more goals. Yeah. But hey, two top teams, about the best teams, a quite interesting final. It was a good way to wrap up the season, which has already started in some ways. So it's football all through. Friday, of course, was a little bit of a shock. Even though on Friday here I predicted that Sevilla would win, they did win, defeated Inter.
How much did you get for that?
3-2.
No,
much?
You didn't put
your money where your mouth is.
No, let's not. Which money? No. Who? How? Where? Which money? No, so that's what we do here. We just, so if you had kept my predictions, Sevilla, Bayern, and you are one for the bookmakers, you would have made something.
Yeah, something actually very good. But you know, what a weekend it has been, though. What a weekend it has been. Besides that, I did some reading.
Okay. What are you reading?
So I borrowed a book from TVC Library.
Okay.
It's a book by Angelica Hurston. It's more like an autobiography.
Okay. Who's she?
And she's an actress.
Okay.
Actually a famous actress, and comes from a long line of actors as well. And I learned a lot from her, just reading that book. I'm not big on autobiographies as much as I like to read, but this book taught me a lot of things. And the most important lesson is life happens.
Life happens, everybody.
Life happens.
Yeah, you know, it's not like we don't know these things, but when we hear them
You have to
over
get
in
to the
different
end
forms,
of a book to realize that after
yeah.
No,
500
there's still
pages.
part 2 of the book.
Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
go check at the library this morning if
you
there
see
is.
part
And
2.
it was as a challenge because the librarian was like, I'm giving you till Monday to return that book.
Oh, you're
and I
a
was
fast
like,
reader then.
Uncle, I have a life.
Well,
But I did.
How they be rushing you like that now?
I haven't done a book in 2 years, but don't worry. That's not to say I haven't read or listened to a book.
Exactly.
So I've tuned into audiobooks now. So especially when I drive in Lagos, it's
Exactly.
necessary.
I
It
don't
is.
think I can cope with audiobooks.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Even anything I can't read, I can't.
You like the smell of paper,
I like the
don't you?
smell, not just even the smell of paper. I can read ebooks as well, but
Okay.
I just love the connection of the words more than even the visual. So,
Ebooks, I would say, of course, due to your eyes, you have to be careful when you're using Kindles or you're using your tab or your phone and all of that. You have to ensure that the screen
reduce
is
the
not
brightness.
too bright.
That's usually
Yes.
the trick, sir.
And
I
then
think-
even
But
at
people
that,
don't do it.
I'm more
So
tuned to
you
ebooks
have to
because
be-
I love to listen to people talk.
talk,
Being
exactly.
someone who's used my voice for a very long time. But let's not talk about that. How ravishing you look today is what we should focus on before the week
Thank
absolutely
you.
gets
Thank
started.
you. So let me enjoy the ravishing moment. Like, yeah.
just before you take the news, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
before I take the news.
Time for you to take the news now.
I'm just going to start off the news by saying it's time for the news updates with the ravishing Mary.
Hot.
Yeah, I know.
Let's let
right?
you do the news. Try and not do it too sexy.
Okay, on a more serious note, though, it's time for the news. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Mago, is yet to formally present his defense before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry probing allegations of corruption against him. His counsel, Wahab Shitu, says proceedings are ongoing and witnesses are still lined up for next week, beginning from Monday, dismissing claims that an interim report has been submitted to President Muhammadu Buhari. In a statement, he says his client has not been served with copies of the allegations, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, whose memo triggered the proceedings, is yet to be summoned to testify. He reveals that his client has been unable to access official documents and other information necessary for his defense due to his suspension from office, and witnesses are not sworn on oath before giving evidence. Mr. Shitu also questioned the transformation of the Administrative Panel of Inquiry led by Justice Ayo Salami into a judicial commission as worrisome. He urged those bent on prejudicing the proceedings through false stories in the public space to think of the interest of the nation, stating that the only thing keeping his clients going is his conviction of his innocence. His final words were that no one is entitled to condemn his clients before he is heard or afforded the opportunity of defending himself. Now, suspected serial killer Sunday Shodipe has finally been rearrested in the Iwo area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, after 12 days on the run. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has warned police officers in that state against self-satisfaction following the arrest of the suspect. It will be recalled that the 19-year-old is a prime suspect in multiple murder of innocent citizens at Akinyele local government area, Moniya, Ibadan, Oyo State. Mr. Shodipe was arrested along with 2 others by the police on the 17th of July and charged to court, but barely a month after his arraignment, he escaped from custody. The IGP has also directed that all hands must be on deck to bring the case to a positive and successful closure. Now, still on the police, following the clash on Sunday morning between members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and personnel of the Department of State Service, the Enugu State Police Command has arrested 5 suspects in connection with the incident. Parading the suspects at the headquarters of the command in Enugu, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Ahmed Abdurraham, disclosed that personnel of the DSS were on official assignment before they were intercepted by members of the proscribed body, allegedly carrying out their routine martial arts training at Community Secondary School, Emene. The police commissioner explained that it took the combined efforts of the police, Army, and other security agencies to rescue one out of the two abducted DSS personnel. It is alleged that some of the fleeing suspects made away with firearms belonging to the DSS.
I did not arrest the DSS officer, and I was not sure about the arrest because I was at the back before we started to hire the gunshot. They have been doing it. Those security have attacked us since.
Because of what is happening in Yemen today, because it was in front of their house. Okay. So now we were there, and this guy ran to that place. I couldn't push him out because of the wound he has.
Immediately I hear bah, because I run because I'm not a policeman. I'm not a man. That is why I run.
To Borno State now, where the governor has pledged support for the National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency in its efforts to curtail the use of hard drugs. The agency destroyed illicit drugs seized during its raids on the outskirts of Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. TVC News' Kolomidala reports.
According to the EU and the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime Reports 2019 report, number of drug users in Nigeria is estimated at 14.4% or 14.3 million people aged between 15 and 64 years. The data suggests that the prevalence of past-year drug users in Nigeria is more than twice the global average of 5.6%. This has called for great concern as the NDLE is determined to continue to curtail hard drugs producers and users. Today, the agency is destroying over 20 tons of various drugs witnessed by the Borno State governor and top government officials and security heads.
These drugs comprises of assorted illicit substances and controlled prescription drugs which were seized and withdrawn from circulation. The substances are made up of cannabis sativa, variety of psychotropic substances, cocaine, heroin, and others.
Nigeria is faced with a huge number of hard drug users, mostly youths, which has raised concerns by the agency.
We have a population of about 4.3 million Nigerians who abuse drugs. There is no prison system we can have that can incarcerate everybody. Besides, a great majority of that number is made of our youth.
Borno State is amongst the highest consumers of illicit drugs and the need to support the agency in carrying out her duties.
Yet another milestone in the annals of Borno, amounting to about 20,000 kg that we are destroying today, is a matter of great concern. Recent media reports have shown that Kano, Kaduna, Borno, and Niger are the states with the highest cases of constant drug abuse in the country. Commonly abused substances in northern Nigeria are volatile solvents or inhalants, cannabis, benylin with codeine, tramal, among others. The consequences of drug abuse by students include extreme violence, gang rape, drug-induced suicide, among others.
The destruction of the hard drugs would go a long way in curbing the illegal trade and send the right signal to manufacturers and consumers alike. Olomidala, TVC News, Maiduguri.
And that's it on the news updates for this hour. We will take a break and return with sports. Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's get on with the headlines from the dailies this morning. And today, Monday, August 24th, 2020, let's start with The Nation newspaper. Now, the very first headline you'd find on The Nation this morning: court freezes 65 accounts for forex manipulation. CBN, their activities cause of volatility in foreign exchange. 14 firms, accounts domiciled in 13 banks. The Chinese connection. Also, ECOWAS mediation team meets ousted president, junta leaders. Polaris Bank MD Abiru retires. And at the very top, why we won't call off strike by ASU. You can find that one inside of page 5. Our demands are genuine. And 160 Nigerian businesses remain shut in Ghana. And DSS loses men in clash with IPOB. One thing I think you must find very interesting is the COVID-19 stories on page 2, which are telling of more infections and less recoveries. Very, very, well, just makes you aware of what's going on regarding the COVID-19 situation in Nigeria. And that's it for The Nation this morning.
All right, moving on to the Vanguard newspaper now. I have here mayhem as police IPOB members clash in Enugu. Commotion as police storm IPOB gathering, bid to disperse a meeting. Gunfire, tear gas as IPOB members resist police. 4 killed, 5 arrested. Police, that's coming from the police though. Not true, 21 killed, 47 arrested, claims IPOB. COVID-19, Lagos records 130 new infections as confirmed cases rise to 52,227. Edo, PDP playing a devil's card over Gambari Oshomole video. That's coming from the presidency as APC tackles Obaseki over modular refinery. 17 lawmakers probe sack of LG chairman. Some critics of Obaseki are colossal failures, says aide. DSS meets APC chieftains over security. Please, here we see Polaris Bank MD CEO retires. Thanks staff CBN for support. Bayelsa, ANDP disowns petitions against Diri INEC. Sanusi faults MBA on El Rufai. Federal government okays new free zone for Akwa Ibom. Targets 7,000 jobs. And up here, we see Ondo, PDP, ZLP, others kick as APC clears 14 LGs. How Ibadan suspected serial killer was rearrested by group. 2023 Senators Reps Dump Electoral Act. Partner CSOs for new law in November. Killings, Catholic bishops warn rulers, youth religious leaders. And finally, we see here more pressures as growth in non-oil exports revenue stagnates. Pressure mounts on forex revenue, exchange rate. Cocoa cashew exporters may lose $200 million. That's a lot. All of these stories and more in the Vanguard newspaper today.
Okay then, let's move now straight to the Guardian newspaper for a Monday here. Naira crashes 108% against CFA. In 5-year free fall, CBN sells pound above 500 Naira for the first time. That is worrying. And 78,120 farmers abandoned food production in Borno, Taraba and other states as attacks by insurgents bandits persist. 70,000 hectares of arable land abandoned, despair with no succor in sight. This will concern every single person in the nation today. And of course, Nigerians kick as multi-choice hikes tariff twice in 3 months. This was all the talk on social media over the weekend after the texts hit people. Everybody was like, now.
Yes, yes.
And 5 feared killed in DSS IPOB clash. That one you can find on page 3. Bayern Munich win UEFA Champions League. Yay, says Mary. And let's see now, what else do we have? The stats for the COVID-19 instance in Nigeria. You can find that one on the front page of The Guardian. And indeed, that is all for The Guardian for Monday.
I'm pretty sure I'm not on that front page. Where did you quote me saying yay?
You are always very excited now about sports and stuff like that.
Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune now. 1,126 killed, 380 abducted in 7 northern states. And that's coming from Amnesty International. 2 feared killed as IPOB security operatives clash. Withdrawn invitation, NBA missed opportunity to interrogate El Rufai. And that's coming from Sanusi. NNPC generates $4.60 billion revenue from crude oil gas exports in 1 year. Closure of Nigerians' shops. Ghana has endorsed xenophobia. And that's coming from Abaribe. CAC on Kama law, religious bodies should stop being registered associations if, well, PFN says revoke it now. Salami panel cannot submit interim reports without hearing from Magu. That's coming from the lawyer. Up here, we see Edo Ondo PDP threat over Kogi APC Bello's supporters' influence. PDP is hallucinating, claims Edo APC. Leave Bello out of your problems. That's coming from the Kogi government. Water Resources Bill. Lawmaker says it is dead on arrival. States will reject the bill, Aguilar says. It is not with us, claims the Senate. Speaker has no special interest, and that's coming from an aide. Abiru Polaris Bank CEO retires August 31. Nigeria doubles voting rights as AFDB elections hold Thursday. And finally, police rearrest Shodipe, suspected Ibadan serial killer. Now, you read all of these stories and more in Nigerian Tribune newspaper today.
Never did I think the day would come when I'd see Nigeria, Ghana, and xenophobia in the same story or the same sentence. That is because we've always been good pals.
Yeah.
This day newspaper now, Tambuwal consults Obasanjo, Mark Danjuma over 2023 presidency. Dogara, my defection to APC is to rebuild party, not for presidential ambition. DSS loses 2 operatives in clash with IPOB. And ASU writes, FG seeks resumption of negotiations. And at the top, NNPC records $378.42 million from oil gas sale in June. And ahead of Additional's re-election, Nigeria doubles AFDB voting rights. Multilateral Development Bank votes this week. Very tacit this morning for the front page of this day newspaper. But indeed, that's all we have time for this hour. Join us again the second hour when we will do this again and maybe bring you more headlines.
Time for the Lagos traffic updates on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, of course, you know you have to be extremely careful with how you manage your movement. And that's why we're here, to ensure that you get to your intended destination on time and, most importantly, safe and sound. All right, let's get started, kicking off from the Abule Egba to Mushin axis. As it is, it will take you about 1 hour 45 minutes to get to Mushin bus stop from Abule Egba bus stop if you are driving. The areas to look out for, there is light traffic at Abule Egba bus stop area. However, it's not so bad. Surprisingly, Ile-Epo is quite free this morning. There is no obstruction there. However, as soon as you are approaching Iyano Ipaja, just after Pleasure bus stop, that's where you would experience your first traffic gridlock. It starts as light traffic, and then before you say Jack Robinson, it's already a gridlock. And that gridlock will take you through Iyano Ipaja. In fact, you have to go about 8 to 10 minutes past the bridge before the traffic eases out. So prepare your mind for that. But it's not so bad. As soon as you're just past that traffic prone axis, you will definitely have a freeway. And that freeway will take you until you're approaching Iyano. So from Iyano is where you would experience your second traffic gridlock. It starts as light traffic again. And then that gridlock, when it eventually starts just before the bridge, it continues all the way to Ikeja. So the traffic today starts from just before Dokpemu all the way to Ikeja on that bridge, through Ikeja, along, through National. But as soon as you're past Ikeja on that bridge, it's quite smooth. So you won't do badly if you decide to pass that route. 1 hour 45 minutes and you'll be at your destination safe and sound. I'm going to take a look at another route now, but before that, I'm pretty sure the guys have updates for me. Let's hear them.
Yes, indeed. We do have a couple of updates for you if you're coming from the Amodafi area, which is the place where I always like to start from, because there's lots of people there heading for the island. You will be finding traffic at mile 2, traffic at the Orile end of the Badagry Expressway, and plenty of traffic on both sides going and coming of the Eco Bridge. That will ease up just after you pass the Idumota area, but then again, the marina, you'd find some traffic there as you go by CMS. From there on, it's pretty free all the way on to the island. If you're coming from off of the 3rd Mainland Bridge, well, you're going to spend a while at the foot of the 3rd Mainland Bridge on the island end of it. So be prepared for that one. Other than that, well, it's general traffic across Lagos. However, coming out of Ikorodu, there's plenty of traffic. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but you better brace up. It is quite much. Mike, do you have anything?
Okay, yeah, just something here. There's a broken down truck. Such a water vendor. This came in just about 25 minutes ago. I don't know if it's still at Ali Mosho bus stop causing traffic, although the driver is sourcing for help. So if you're on Ali Mosho, it's said it's causing traffic there. This came in quite a while ago. So if you can avoid that area if you're going out, then please do. You already have prior information in that regard.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Ojodu to CMS Garage, that's the axis we're going to take a look at now. There's light traffic at Ojodu, so prepare your mind for that. But it's quite light, just a few minutes, and you'll be fine. And afterwards, it's a surprising freeway. I mean, just drive away, but be very careful. In fact, the first traffic situation you'd experience is when you're halfway on the Ojota Bridge. But it's not for a long time. It's first light traffic, then a gridlock, then light traffic. But it's for a very short time. In fact, you will not have to get to Alapere before the traffic situation eases out. And then again, it's a freeway. The only other traffic you're going to encounter is around Ogudu axis, just before you reach the filling station at that area. But afterwards, it's a freeway. The third mainland bridge is good to go until you're almost off the bridge. That's when you would experience light traffic, then some gridlock. So altogether, 40 minutes if you're driving, and you'll be at your destination without any wahala at all. Right now, I'll be joining the guys, but keep in mind that as you're driving, have consideration for other road users. Be very careful, and you'll do just fine.
I don't know if Mary saw my impersonation of her from last Friday. Oh. Mary, did you see that impersonation? Did you like it? Was I spot on?
Can get the video. It's very easy. You can get the video and show her.
So, let's talk some very interesting stuff from over the weekend, Mike.
No, before whatever happened, let me see that impersonation again. How did I miss it?
It was
you have it there?
Don't worry, I'll show it to you.
You watch it after the show.
I'm going to look for it.
So, comedian, senator, you guys know him, one of my very, very, very best.
His wife was my colleague in uni.
Famzin.
I'm not Famzin. His wife is actually, they weren't married then, but they were still dating.
That's nice.
We studied French language together, same university.
I love it when young people go all the way and get married at the end. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's nice. Well, he came out with some material for his comedy over the weekend where he talked about the impact of the coronavirus on comedians. It was a joke, but quite frankly, under it you can find that it was serious. And when you think about it, it's been almost 6 months, I'm exaggerating there, but there hasn't been any work for these comedians. Most of them have resorted to doing business on social media, which doesn't really translate to, cash like it used to. But it just gives you an idea of how much people have had to cut down on what they're making, how they're spending, and especially people who are in entertainment and hospitality as well. Yeah. And there's that juggling, working at home, and also trying to make your kids learn at the same time, which we have taken all the responsibility of teaching from the teachers. Yeah. And as parents, we're the ones that are now teachers, and they're still asking for school fees. I don't know, but...
For learning online, yeah? I knew a number of... and apart from... it's going to be hard to maybe use online virtual classrooms because not everybody has access to fast internet. So I know a number of schools use WhatsApp groups and it works for them. It's okay. It's not everybody that has that access. But yeah, like you mentioned, there's a lot of options that are off the table that seem like they're coming back. The other day I was talking about cinemas. There's a push, a clamor for cinemas here in Nigeria, but around the world you have few that are opening, and of course with the measures in place and all of that. And and there's some businesses, Twitter especially has said that they would have a majority of their staff never come to the office again, ever again.
I was going to ask.
Ever again. No, so it's and especially the tech companies, they're championing that, look, I give you a set, I give you what to do, this is what I need. I don't have to see you. Yeah. I have to see your impact. I like that.
Banks might also adopt that as well, because
banks are adopting.
They're adopting it. Not everybody is back at work if you work at a bank. They're saying, hey, don't worry, let's just see your numbers at the end of every week. Let's see your report. And I mean, I think these guys are actually having fun at home, if you ask me.
They are not.
No, not really.
Yes, you know what? That's the annoying thing. I was actually going to that. But before that, let me just mention that the teachers prepare curriculum. They let you know the books to teach with. So they need to get paid for it. But that's an aside. For the bankers, though, the bankers on their own, they are now being overworked.
How?
I'm going to be very honest with you.
How?
Now, besides the cost of internet, most of them don't even eat anymore.
What?
Why? Okay,
neither do they take a bath.
So project. Okay, if you're in project management department, for example, before you would have like maybe 1 or 2 projects, and then you have other people in the office to confer with and everything. Now you are doing phone calls to chat with your colleagues. Now you're spending a lot more on internet. Now you're spending on, now you're spending on fuel. Now you're
fuel?
also...
What fuel?
And then you have loads of projects you're doing.
You're not spending on fuel. Think about the amount of time that you're saving not being in Lagos traffic. 4 hours for some
people. So it's just the time you're saving up being in Lagos traffic.
Time is very important.
Uncle, we are now working 7 days a week. Do you realize that?
I would say it's relative, very relative. There are some that will tell you that, look, it's far much easier now. It depends. A lot of them, that's just also some people that just love to go to the office.
I'm one of those people.
Yes, and they will tell you that, look, hey, this one is harder. This one is harder. You understand? It's relative. And then, like you said, you mentioned the department, project management.
Yes.
It also depends on your department.
Yes.
It depends on what exactly you're doing. For some other people, look, I am on the go. I can do this. For some other people, it's easier. But the point is, at the end, my own is impact. What were you able to achieve?
Yes.
That is what you should be gauged by, not how many hours I am seeing sitting down somewhere.
I had a conversation with my friend, and he was having the challenge of actually working from home and also having his kids at home at the same time.
That's another
because
thing.
the distraction is massive, he
Yes.
says. And he's labored with also putting them through e-learning as well. So I can understand on his part. And I don't think these schools are considering parents who are actually still working. They think every parent is still at home. So they're like, just log on and then just you know, supervise them. It's not that easy to supervise a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, you know. That's why I'm paying you money. So I'm beginning to think personally, perhaps we'll have to hire a live-in teacher or something.
But the times have changed. I'm thinking about when we were growing up, 4 or 5 years ago, it was very easy to supervise us.
How?
All my father needed was just to look at you.
Oh, it doesn't work anymore.
That is because we are the ones that change it.
It works, actually.
We're the ones that change it.
You know,
if that my father's time we're doing e-learning, you will sit down there for 6 hours. All they just need is a look.
I couldn't get my daughter to write up until 300 yesterday. It was tough.
But you know, it's just part of life. It's just part of life. You know, these are things that, it's called parenting.
Okay.
For teachers, it's their job, they're being paid for it. But for us, it's parenting, so we have to do it.
Tell you what, let's check out this clip from Friday. I'm sure you guys are going to absolutely enjoy this. Brace yourselves.
Okay, let's see.
What the hell?
Uncle?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Shay.
It's traffic updates. So that's me.
And on traffic today, from Shasha bus stop, from Idimu, going to Dokmaimo is going to be very free. And you guys are going to like the traffic onward. Do you guys get it now? Notice the swag.
It is with the swag.
I don't flip my hair. I don't.
Okay, I would like to say something. Please, I never ever want to see that video again. I'm going to beg the guys upstairs, please, can you delete it from, the Instagram page?
Shay.
I'm just going to say, everyone, take a good look at Mazino. I'm not sure, but this might be the last time you see him alive.
You've got that little, you know, swag you do when you're given the, and all those names you pronounce. I couldn't even do more than one. But hey, that was Friday. It was exciting. No, it wasn't traffic. That was our game show.
You guys did game show of mimicking people, and then you chose to mimic me, and then you're making
one
it look
was
like...
fantastic. She did a very spot-on impression of Mike and his classic, you know, what he does when
was in this too. Why on a break, Jared?
Oh, baby, let's go on a break, Joe. And you're welcome back. So they say the same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. You are what you are made of, not the circumstances or challenges you go through. My name is Ebuka Obi. No, sorry. My name is Mazina Appeal.
Oh, I see what you did.
He does that all the time. He does that all the time.
Now, that's what I call an... you almost made me say Ebuka quote. A Mazino quote. Well, let's see if I have one in the locker.
Okay, what do you have?
When life gives you a Monday, dip it in glitter and sparkle all day like me. I'm trying to do what Mazino said.
No, that's beautiful. I can't make a better one myself, but that was nice. That was an original. So hey, welcome to a Monday. It's the second hour. It's definitely going to be a 1 hour filled of great entertainment, great information, and all of that. And then there's another 45 minutes for after. My name is Mazino Appeal.
And of course, I am Mary Bashua Alimi. We're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. So send in comments using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
We have an app, and I bet by now you know about it already. It's available for download on both Android and iOS. The app allows you to watch us from anywhere in the world. Take us with you every single place you go.
Yeah.
We also want to remind you again to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv.
And you can join us on IG Live. That's on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. as we bring you someone special for a chat. This week, there's definitely someone really special coming on.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so we head straight to the highlights then.
Alrighty.
Okay. Now, soon enough, we'll be taking a trip down a memory lane to check out some of the most significant moments in history.
And on Motivation today, we will have quintessential public speaker who speaks professionally and trains effectively, Fola Daniel Adelesi. And today he'll be talking about changing your carb mentality.
And of course, we get to continue our e-learning series with Messi George Igbafe. And this time, we'll be finding out more on digital channels to secure top-paying jobs locally and internationally.
Otu Orondame is the founder of Slum to School, where the vision is a world where every child has access to quality education, good health, and a happy family.
That's amazing.
Yep, talking about children, my friend's child, Nicole, today's her birthday. I just found out. Nicole Ego, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. She's 8 now? 8? 8. Happy birthday, Nicole. Happy 8th birthday.
You should set a new goal and have your own baby.
How do you know I don't have?
I could hear someone laughing. That was so loud, guys.
Some of you here, it's why they used to use juju. They need to be using juju on some of you.
My word.
You will not know something, you'll be talking.
Whether
You
or
need
not
to use
Mike
juju
has
on
a
some of
child,
you.
I am of the opinion it
Oh,
would make
boy.
a fantastic father.
So,
He would.
Mike
Mary,
would,
Mary.
When you move that book from there.
Honorable member, off your mic, off your mic. It's okay. Honorable member.
Goals. I set new goals for myself, and I think a lot of people have also done that. With the whole, with the way the year has turned out, it's like as if we're actually just starting a new year now that everything's beginning to go back to normal.
Yes.
So a lot of us, personally, spent a lot of time at home, got out of shape. So my new goal for the rest of the year is actually to sculpt my body to this beautiful Adonis.
I don't
come
understand.
3
What are
months
you
from now.
sculpting exactly?
All of this.
Can you do like this?
It's flat. It's been flat in the past 3 weeks. There's still more work to be done. I need to really look good.
You know what,
So,
generally,
yeah.
so different strokes for different folks, but generally I found out that with body, the best thing is just let us see the results. Because a lot of people, the expectation and the ginger and all of that, at the end, I'll move it to next year.
I have two.
No, I'm not moving it. I pushed it for
I have two
too long.
pals, yeah. You know them, but I won't mention their names.
Okay, I'll guess
So
who they are.
one has been on a diet for 2 years now.
Okay.
Every time you see her,
Betty.
I'm on it. I did not. I'm not there. And then the second person
Betty?
lost 5 kilograms.
Who is the second person? Call the second person's
trying.
And
And
at
then
least.
announced it with pleasure during the meeting.
Don't mind MC Auntie B, that one. She be doing weight loss journey, I'm eating chicken and potato. And say I'm doing fit
Time
farm.
for the news. Somebody who doesn't
farm.
need anybody sculpting. He's okay just the way he is.
Just the way he is. Really.
Ibrahim is standing in the wings for the news.
Baba is not smiling like that today.
Mike.
All right, welcome to the news. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, is yet to formally present his defense before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, probing allegations of corruption against him. His counsel, Wahab Shitu, says proceedings are ongoing and witnesses are still lined up for next week, beginning from Monday, dismissing claims that an interim report has been submitted to President Muhammad Buhari. In a statement, he says his client has not been served with copies of the allegations, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, whose memo triggered the proceedings, is yet to be summoned to testify. He reveals that his client has been unable to access official documents and other information necessary for his defense due to his suspension from office, and witnesses were not sworn on oath before giving evidence. Mr. Shitu also questioned the transformation of the administrative panel of inquiry led by Justice Ayo Salami into a judicial commission as worrisome. He urged those bent on prejudicing the proceedings through false stories in the public space to think of the interest of the nation, stating that the only thing keeping his client going is his conviction of his innocence. His final words were that no one is entitled to condemn his client before he is heard or afforded the opportunity of defending himself. Suspected serial killer Sunday Shodipe has finally been rearrested in the Iwo area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, after 12 days on the run. Now the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Ademo, has warned police officers in that state against self-satisfaction following the rearrest of the suspect. It would be recalled that the 19-year-old is a prime suspect in multiple murder of innocent citizens at Akinyele local government area, Moniya, Ibadan, Oyo State. Mr. Shodipe was arrested along with 2 others by the police on the 17th of July and charged to court, but barely a month after his arraignment, he escaped from custody. The IGP has also directed that all hands must be on deck to bring the case to a positive and successful closure. Following the clash on Sunday morning between members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and personnel of the Department of State Service, the Enugu State Police Command has arrested 5 suspects in connection with the incident. Parading the suspects are the headquarters of the command in Enugu. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Ahmed Abdulrahman, disclosed that personnel of the DSS were on official assignment before they were intercepted by members of the proscribed body, allegedly carrying out their routine martial arts training at Community Secondary School, Emene. The police commissioner explained that it took the combined effort of the police, army and other security agencies to rescue 1 out of the 2 abducted DSS personnel. It is alleged that some of the fleeing suspects made away with firearms belonging to the DSS. In less than 24 hours, President Donald Trump will be heading for the Republican convention ahead of the November election in an unusual position due to his drop in polls and more public attacks. The latest is by his sister, Marianne Trump Barry, who bitterly criticized him in audio recordings recently released in the country. She said her brother is unfit to be president, calling him cruel and voicing support for his rival, Joe Biden. But the president might be unfazed by these comments, as his advisors have been promising a more optimistic convention than that of the downer of Democrats last week. White House Counsellor Kellyanne Conway announced Sunday evening she will leave her post at the end of the month. Her announcement came on the eve of the Republican convention, where she is expected to speak. There are reports that she is resigning her position due to political differences between her and her husband, George Conway, who is a major Trump critic. According to Ms. Conway, herself and her husband are making big changes in their career for the sake of their family. George Conway tweeted that he was also withdrawing from the Lincoln Project, a group formed by anti-Trump Republicans. And that's the news update for this hour. Next export, Mike.
Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's time for the newspaper headlines.
Yes,
Why
indeed.
do we feel like we're about to have a competition or who pulls it first?
Ladies first, then.
Oh, yeah, that's more like it. Okay, so we'll start off with the Punch newspaper this morning. And it says, APC interim panel compiles errant members list to propose expulsion. Caretaker committee writes 2 letters on withdrawal of cases to state chapters. Reconciliation, APC dumps Akonde-led panel, opts for fresh committees. And the photo story here, jubilation galore, Champions League, Bayern ruled Europe, Pep PSG by 1-0 in final. Poor PSG, poor Neymar. Moving on, APC clean sweep of Ondo local government poll, or your community farmers laments destruction of farms by headsmen more like. APC PDP clash over state contribution to Edo refinery. We led police to rearrest Oyo serial killer in grandma's residence, and that's coming from hunters.
Oh, hunters, huh?
Wow. 8 Lagos naval ratings torture peacemaker to death. over 250 naira.
Oh dear.
Sanusi visits Kaduna, knocks NBA for withdrawing El Rufai's invitation. Up here, we see power sector loses 468.4 billion naira as hitches stall 33,122 megawatts. We owe contractors 336 billion naira, says Fashola. El Rufai, Ikeja, Kano, Port Harcourt, other branches shall call to boycott NBA confab. Bandits killed 1,126 Nigerian villagers in 6 months, and that's coming from Amnesty. Police DSS IPOB clash gave conflicting casualty figures. Police killed 21 members, arrested 47, alleges IPOB. 4 persons died in the confrontation, claims the police. Now, all of these stories and more you can catch in the Punch newspaper today.
All right, then. Let's do The Nation, Monday, August 24th. Of course, every daily today is looking like a sports daily with that big picture of the champions on there. Well, hey, what can we say? Congratulations. But big headline, court freezes 65 accounts for forex manipulation. CBN, their activities cause of volatility in foreign exchange. 14 firms, accounts domiciled in 13 banks. The Chinese connections. At the top of the paper for The Nation, why we won't call off strike by ASU. Find that inside page 5. Our demands are genuine. And 160 Nigerian businesses remain shut in Ghana, talking about the xenophobia going on, or what it has been referred to as. DSS loses 2 men in clash with IPOB. Page 7. Group, we lost 21 members. And Polaris Bank MD Abiru retires. ECOWAS mediation team meets ousted president, junta leaders. And at the bottom of the writer there, COVID-19 stories, find that on page 2. I think everybody should read that because it is worrying as it is being reported more infections, less recoveries. That's it for The Nation.
All right, the Vanguard newspaper is up next. Mayhem as police IPOB members clash in Enugu. Commissioners police storm IPOB gathering, bid to disperse a meeting. Gunfire, tear gas as IPOB members resist police. 4 killed, 5 arrested, and that's coming from the police. While from IPOB, the claim is not true. 21 killed, 47 arrested. COVID-19, Lagos records 130 new infections as confirmed cases rise to 52,227. Edo, PDP playing devil's card over Gambari Oshomole video. That's coming from the presidency as APC tackles Obaseki over modular refinery. 17 lawmakers probe sack of local government chairman. Some critics of Obaseki are colossal failures, says aide. DSS meets APC chieftains over security. Polaris Bank MD CEO retires, thanks staff CBN for support. Bayelsa, ANDP disowns petitions against Diri INEC. Sanusi faults NBA on El Rufai. Federal government okays new free zone for Akwa Ibom. Targets 7,000 jobs. More pressures as growth in oil export revenue stagnates. Pressure mounts on forex revenue exchange rate. Cocoa cashew exporters may lose $200 million. We also see here, Ondo, PDP, ZLP, others cake as APC clears 14 LGs. How Ibadan, suspected serial killer, was rearrested by group. 2023, Senators Reps dump Electoral Act, partner CSOs for new law in November. Killings, Catholic bishops warn rulers, youth, religious leaders. All of these stories and more in Vanguard newspaper today.
Tribune now, Mary.
Okay.
Let me segue from the Vanguard over that rearrest of the Oyo serial killer. It says group in the Vanguard. It says hunters in the Punch. Here on the Tribune, it says police. As police rearrest Shudikwe, suspected Ibadan serial killer. The big one, however, on the Tribune, 1,126 killed, 380 abducted in 7 northern states, Amnesty International. 2 feared killed as IPOP security operatives clash. In withdrawal invitation, NBA missed opportunity to interrogate El Rufai, says Sanusi. And NNPC generates $4.6 billion revenue from crude oil gas export in 1 year. Closure of Nigerian shops. Ghana has endorsed xenophobia, Barrier Bay. It's a potpourri of headlines for the Tribune. It continues, CAC on camera law. Religious bodies should stop being registered associations if revoke it now, says PFN, and Salami panel cannot submit interim report without hearing from Magu, says the lawyer. At the top of the page, Water Resources Bill, lawmakers says it is dead on arrival. States will reject the bill, says Billa, and it's not with us, says Senate. Speaker has no special interests, ID. That's it for the Tribune, and this hour, that's it for the headlines, the front page of the papers, and I'm sure we have fitness up next.
Okay, Monday morning, you know how it is. Monday morning, I am in the kitchen, and the delectable, effervescent, and oftentimes very bubbly Chef Mary Jane is in the house of Cadins. How you doing?
Very well.
How you doing? How you doing?
Very well.
So
very well.
I'm quite excited. Good morning. Great to have you.
Morning.
I love whenever Mary Jane is around, she finds a way to put an African touch to everything she's doing, and today is not different. Chef Mary Jane, what are we doing this morning?
Okay, I'm making chick toby today.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be wondering what is chick toby.
Exactly. That's why she's Chef Mary Jane. I'm wondering what is chick toby. Chick toby.
It's,
okay.
You know the normal nkwobi now?
Hey.
Like nkwobi, but this time I'm using a combination of chicken and turkey to make this nkwobi, and I'll be serving it with a pan-grilled sweet potato.
Wow.
That's it.
So this show is going to be all about us. Mazino and Mary are not going to come anywhere near here. Today they will know me. But let's look at the ingredients that we're working with.
Okay.
Guys, please. Mary, can you please? Okay. I have the mic now.
Okay, so we have the chicken and the turkey here. I had already cut them in tiny bits.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
these
so
are sweet potatoes. I wanted to buy some last night, but I was thinking of how to fry it, and it was quite a challenge.
Well, you could do some other thing apart from frying.
No. We have to fry it.
Pan grill. So many.
We have to fry it. Okay, so we have our onions here.
Onions. We have the idem pot. This is Uyayak, the Efik dialect.
My mom used to put this in abak.
Oh yes, it has a fantastic aroma. Let me just put that on fire right now because I need to, for me to be able to bring out the aroma, I need it to...
When you want African food with an intercontinental touch, Chef Mary Jane is the one.
Thank
right?
you.
What do we have here?
So I have grounded crayfish here.
Grounded crayfish.
I have my peppers, I have salt, seasoning cube and all that.
Okay.
So I have ezuru, the calabash nutmeg.
Okay.
And in this same thing, I have uziza seeds in it.
Wonderful.
And I have ugba.
This is for abacha, if you know how it is.
Okay, this is my potash. This
Your
is
potash.
Akau. Yeah, we have other kinds of...
Is it akau or nkau?
Akau, Igbo, Kong, Yoruba.
All right, wonderful.
So I have a blend of peppers here. That's yellow pepper, red pepper, and onions there.
This is palm oil.
Palm oil.
Wonderful.
So,
wonderful. Okay,
that's about it.
Let's get started,
so, the first thing we're going to start with is getting our... Ow!
Don't worry, it happens. It's the kitchen, so you're going to definitely have to excuse us.
Exactly.
Sorry about that.
So I will put the chicken
in
on fire. Just a minute. I need to get some. Okay, so we have our chicken on fire.
So there's no oil there or anything?
No,
there's
no,
nothing.
No.
It's just
cook it normally, the same way you cook chicken.
Is there water inside?
Not yet, because you need your chicken to bring out its own oil and flavor.
Wow. So see why they add chef to somebody's name? It's not just for fancy. Chef is not fancy. How can somebody put in chicken inside normal pot like that?
See,
I want you to think about it.
Turkey, especially turkey, has its own oil. So it would always bring out its own oil. Even chicken, they always bring out. You'll be amazed the amount of oil you see here. That's why sometimes you're advised you can still have your chicken pan grilled without having to fry and all that.
Fantabulous. I like this. Okay.
The aroma is becoming interesting.
It is. You can
soon be throwing it in.
Exactly,
so
you can feel it.
we're going to have a seasoning cube.
Seasoning cubes, all right. Seasoning cubes coming up right next.
A little bit of it. Oh, this particular one.
Should
I exposed it.
Okay, maybe let me see if I can turn this down a little bit.
Yes, I think.
Okay, let's see if I can turn it down.
Okay, so now I want to add my Iden pot. This is really hot, so you always need to be very careful.
It is
but
hot
as
now.
you can see, the aroma is already out, so I will I had washed it before I burnt it, so...
Okay, so it can go in,
throw it in.
Wonderful.
And allow it to boil together.
What's this thing doing? All this.
Okay, so while this is getting ready.
Okay, I had to turn that down. Okay, while that is getting ready.
While that's getting ready, we need to get our
sweet potatoes.
Sweet
Can you use
potato.
Irish if you want to?
Anything you want. Yams.
Yam?
Anything you want.
Can you use cocoa yam?
Yes, cocoa. That's the one we call cocoa, the pink one. You know, there are two kinds of cocoa yams. There is this one they call Ede.
Okay.
Ede is used to thicken your soups, and then the cocoa itself.
You want to use for cocoa?
You're too much.
Okay, let's run over our menu once again for those of you who just tuned in. We're working with quite a lot here, a number of ingredients to put together this wonderful meal. It's called chick turby, chicken and turkey nkwobi served with potatoes. We have salt, turkey, potash, palm oil, utazi leaves, oil, bean seed, ugba. We have a calabash, nutmeg, ehuru. We have onions, chicken, crayfish, potatoes, seasoning cubes, Aden poured uyayak. That's the stuff that you saw there. That thing that looks like all those things in shrine.
Michael.
It does, but it's not. It's not. It's not. It's
not in a bad way.
Yes. It's a wonderful cooking ingredient there. I would never forget my mom using it. Big shout out to mommy. She used that to cook some correct abak soup. Some of you know it as what's the name now?
Abak, atama. Abak is basically palm nuts. So anything.
Exactly. When you do it and you blend the palm nuts, mommy, you're too
atama.
much.
All right, guys, welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria here. My name is Mazino Appeal, and it's time for some motivation. And today we have been joined by Fola Daniel Adelesi, as usual, an inspirational speaker who's a trained communication expert. And he's also a renowned author with more than 5 published books and a quintessential public speaker who speaks professionally and trains effectively. He'll be talking about changing your crab mentality. Welcome to the show, Fola Daniels.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Good to have you. So first off, let me start by saying I was a bit confused when you talked about crab mentality. I'm like, what is this crab mentality you're talking about? But I think a lot of people might also be confused out there. So why don't we start by you explaining exactly what crab mentality is?
Okay, I'll explain it by telling you 2 different things. One of the things that we have in our society, the African society generally, is that when one person tries to succeed, even before the person is able to succeed successfully, pardon my use of words, we start drawing the person, we start placing so much demand on the person, and eventually the person is not able to rise, and the person comes back to the level of every other person. Now, the crab mentality stems from a research that was done several years ago, and they found out that when you pack some crabs into a bucket, what is most likely to happen is that none of them will get out of that bucket. Yeah. And the reason none of them will get out of that bucket is because whenever any one of them tries to get out, the others will pull that one down. So another one will try to get out, they will pull it down. Each time any crab in the bucket tries to get out, others will pull that crab down. So the crab mentality is that mindset that enjoys it when everyone is on the same level, when everyone is not progressing, when no one is succeeding. If you find out that you are happy, you remember when we were in secondary school and you found out that you just failed a test and you're sad, but suddenly you realize that everyone in the class failed the test.
You have good company.
And you're happy.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's one perfect example for it. If you failed an exam and you're thinking, oh, I'm not happy, I failed this exam, then a friend comes around and says, oh, don't worry, we all failed the test. And all of a sudden, you start cheering up just because you found out that everybody failed the test. That's an example of the crab mentality. The crab mentality is the kind of mindset that makes you happy when everyone around you is on the same level.
You see, Fola Daniel.
So we need to break that mindset.
You see, first of all, it sounds like the last place I worked. But noting that, it seems like it's endemic to us as Nigerians. It's like as if it's a normal thing. So how do we escape such a mentality as an individual and then as a group?
Okay, so there are 2 different people now. Let me start with those of us who are trying to get out of it. Number 1, there are certain things you will be doing and you must make sure that nobody knows about it. If you get people to know about it, then you're in trouble already because they'll do everything to pull it down. You need to learn how to catch people by surprise. You need to learn how to show people your results and not your plans. If you learn to show people your results and not your plans, it becomes a little easier for you to overcome the crab mentality. Now, let me deal with all of us as individuals. We need to come to that point where you're genuinely happy for others, no matter how well they are succeeding, even if you are not succeeding yet. If you're not happy for others, it becomes difficult for you to attain the kind of success that they are already achieving. One of the principles of success is for you to be happy for others, genuinely happy for them, celebrate them when they excel, celebrate them when they succeed at something, and that success, because you're celebrating it, can easily come to you. But if you are bitter towards someone else who has achieved something, you're most likely not going to be able to achieve that thing. And the reason is, your bitterness will stop you from learning from that person.
Nice.
Your bitterness will not allow you to see the secrets, the strategies, the opportunities that the person harnessed. But if you genuinely, say for example, you are succeeding and I come to you, one of the reasons that I'll be able to achieve whatever you are achieving is that I'll be humble enough to ask you, how did you do it? What else can I do to achieve what you're also achieving? But if I'm bitter, I'm never going to come to you. I will not ask you what the secrets are. I will not ask you what the strategies are. So I'm just going to remain on the same position. So all of us must be happy for other people. If you're not happy for other people, if you're wishing they will never succeed, you will never learn their own secrets to success.
So let me tell you
something. And again, you as an individual, don't share your plans, show your results.
Yeah, so let me tell you something that happened a couple of minutes ago here on the show. I revealed to the rest of the crew that I was going to be sculpting my body, and then in 3 months, I'm going to look like this very handsome guy, maybe like Johnny Bravo on TV. In retrospect now, I regret that I did that. Because according to what you said, I should not have exposed it. I should have let my results spoken for me. Because the truth is, I actually did see some sense of jealousy in Mike's eyes when I told them that. So, yeah, thank you for that one.
Okay,
I only hope, I wish that this came in earlier. But talking about
there are two sides to it.
Okay.
Actually. And there's the side of confession. There's also the side of sensing that people will not let this work. So the part of confession is looking for trusted people. Trusted people who believe in you.
I don't trust Mike. I don't trust Mike.
You.
He's not trusted.
Okay, maybe you should trust Titi or Mary.
But you also spoke about genuine happiness. It is not very easy to have genuine happiness when you have jealousy. Sometimes, let's face it, it comes very natural, jealousy. How do you do that now?
Yeah, that's why we're addressing this issue today. If you have jealousy, jealousy is going to be your greatest undoing as an individual. Because instead of, as I said earlier, learning why people are succeeding, you're just going to be bitter towards them. So if you're bitter towards anyone, you would not be able to get close and ask them what the secrets are, what the strategies are. You're just going to stay at a distance, and so you must take away jealousy. That's number one. Apart from jealousy, you must take away your pride. If you're proud, you will not be humble enough to learn from any other person. So jealousy will not allow you to celebrate others when they're succeeding. It can be tough. Take, for example, your friends get admission, you haven't gained admission, your friends are able to move to better companies, you are struggling to earn some decent pay. It can be tough. But one of the things you must learn is you're only seeing today. You don't know what's going to turn around tomorrow and how things are going to favor you, and you, who is envying someone else, will become the envied. But if you're going to turn the tables, jealousy cannot be on that table.
True.
Because jealousy will not allow you to turn that table. So to be happy for others genuinely is one of the secrets to success.
Absolutely.
Be happy for them, and don't just be happy for them, because if you're just happy for them, you won't learn much. After you show that you are happy for them, ask them, what is the secret?
Yeah.
Help me as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's just hope that they'll tell. But thank you very much, Fola Daniels. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show with all these motivation and great nuggets that you give to us. I'm going to be taking your advice. I hope, Mike, I hope you're not jealous. Don't worry, I'll give you the details when I'm successful after sculpting my body. Okay, so I was only confessing. I wasn't bragging.
Keep saying it. Don't stop talking it. Keep on confessing, but while you're confessing, just don't worry, confess on that so far, don't come near the kitchen today because you will see.
I will be there.
You will see who I was before you came.
There.
Okay. All right. So we are here, and this is coming out real good. Now remember that we put this together without. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and of course I'm doing it. We put this together without water or oil. And Chef Mary Jane let us know that turkey and chicken has its own oil inherent in it, and I love that. And see, this is beautiful. It looks like something that was sautéed and garnished in some very, very wonderful embellishments and all of that. Mazino, stop licking your lips. All right, but hey, come on. Now, this also was without oil. Today is going to be healthy eating. Yeah. This was without oil, so our sweet potatoes is almost ready without oil in what kind of pan is this? What's this called now?
That's a non-stick pot.
Non-stick pot. Okay, now you are even giving the onion self the way you are cutting itself. It has a fizz in the cutting self.
It's for garnishing.
For garnishing.
It really needs to look very appetizing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, for those of you just joining in, you are virtually looking like you're lost, but hey, come on, we'll put you up to speed now with the menu. There's a lot that we put together here to work with. I love the way this looks, but we'll just put up a list there. We're doing chick turby today, chicken and turkey kwabi served with potatoes. And our ingredients, we have salt, turkey, potash, palm oil, utazi leaves, oil bean seed, uba. We have calabash, nutmeg, ehuru. We have onions, chicken, crayfish, potatoes, seasoning cubes, Aden port, uyayak. That is what we use for our
chick turby.
Yeah, you know what we call what was that soup? This soup should have an English name now.
Which one? This?
No, that soup.
Atama?
Abak. The English name. What's the English name? It's not coming to mind now.
Still the palm nut.
All right, wonderful.
It depends anyway.
Wonderful. This was without oil.
Well, yeah.
Wow. Mary, keep quiet, please. Off the honorable's mic. We don't want to hear her voice. All right, so yeah, this is it. But this is done, right?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Okay.
Not exactly, Michael.
So I'm the sous chef. The chef tells me that we still need a little bit of
You're
work
going to just handle
on this
that
one.
while I take care of this.
Okay. Now we still have a number of ingredients that we have not used,
yes,
right?
We're about to start that.
Now, but Chef Mary Jane, let me just talk about this. What inspires your cooking? I know you tend to always have this African style and all of that in almost everything that you do. What inspires you to have that African flavor?
I don't like boring food.
Wow.
Like I like eating, but I just don't like eating the same conventional food every time. I just like or want to eat something different. You know, let every scoop be what that calorie. You know?
Now, this is not just talk. Now, she talks the talk and she walks the walk. I know what I'm saying. I've patronized her. So how do we hit you up on social media to have a feel of this wonderful, exciting experience you're talking about?
Okay, on Instagram, we're Kadin Support. And on Facebook, we are Kadin Support too. And on Twitter, we are K Support.
Wonderful, wonderful. There's still more going on in this kitchen. We'll have one more time to show you how we put all of this together. But we'll just go on this short recess. We'll be back.
Alrighty then.
I was trying to speak French.
I know. Yeah, you almost caught her on guard.
Bienvenue.
Yes, it is all of that. So the first 2 hours of the show set, well, hey, they always set the benchmark for how the week is going to get started, and I believe we've done a good job.
Yes.
We started it on a very good note. You guys are welcome once again. It is the 3rd hour, 45 minutes to go here on the show.
Yes. 2 solid hours of premium entertainment. That's a long time.
Yes.
And of course, we are on the last run of 45 minutes, and it's equally going to be super amazing.
So thank you very much for starting your week with us. We accept that you have given us the honor of being your company this morning. The show gets better every single hour because, hey, we know you're there. And of course, if you weren't there, we wouldn't be here at all. So thank you.
Yeah, and you know, Wake Up Nigeria remains your one-stop shop for everything family-oriented. And of course, lifestyle. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi.
And I am Mazino.
Let me finish saying my name before you say your name. He's so in love with it. Mazino Pale.
Sorry.
Pale.
It is quite interesting, isn't it? So don't miss the great experience here that we're giving to you. You can stream us live if you have to leave the house. Carry us with you. We are at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Send in comments, please, using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, and of course the TVC app is available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now this app allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world.
Are you done? Okay, so we would like to remind you guys once again to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tvcentertainment.tv, please.
Yes, and you can join us. Okay, I felt like I interrupted.
It's okay.
But it's
go
all
on.
right. You can join us on IG Live on Fridays at 2:30 p.m. as we bring you someone special for a chat, and we can't wait for that.
Yes, indeed.
There's always someone special on Fridays. Really interesting
So make sure
personality.
you're following also
Yes.
on IG,
Yes,
please.
yes.
Now, let's check out what we have left on the show, shall we? All right, so what do we have?
We'll continue our e-learning series.
Of course, we're joined on the couch again by Mike.
Yeah, that guy's been
fresh from
doing
the kitchen.
quite a lot.
Otto, yeah?
When it comes, yes, when it comes to being there for those kids from the slums and all of that. I know that during this COVID period, they also had, he'll talk about it probably, and e-learning, they had to ensure that they have access to the internet so that they could still learn, you know, in spite of the challenges that COVID-19 presented.
Wasn't
So
he
good job.
involved with the school at Makoko? I think I'm going to ask him that, because if I remember, I had an interview. I was scheduled to have an interview with him, but which didn't happen at that time during the whole Makoko school thingamajig, which, by the way, I thought was a beautiful, let me use the word edifice, which was not supported by the government. Makoko, first of all, intrigues me. I've never been there, but I would like to go there because of all the stories I've heard about how people live their lives on stilts, on the water. And I'm like, how do you do this? You work there, you school there, and you know the funny thing, people come from outside the country to make documentaries of the place. We don't have any as Nigerians, any indigenous documentaries on Makoko.
They are actually.
They are.
They are.
I haven't seen them. But I understand where he's coming from. At the standard you respect, I mean, when you think of a Vienna and how much of noise has been made in that light. So we see, you know, small and but like you said something like maybe a government-backed project, something that you can sell out there. But there's still a lot, like you said, to develop the area to ensure that it's something not just so that somebody coming to Africa to do it is not on the aid part. It's more just like
Well, there are places all over the world anyway that people actually live on stilt huts. So it's not something strange, but it's a good thing to have it in Nigeria as well. It's about time for Ibrahim to give us the news updates. Hi, Ibrahim.
Hello, Mary. Thanks so much. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, is yet to formally present his defense before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, probing allegations of corruption against him. His counsel, Wahab Shitu, says proceedings are ongoing and witnesses are still lined up for next week, beginning from Monday, dismissing claims that an interim report has been submitted to President Muhammad Buhari. In a statement, it says his client has not been served with copies of the allegations, and the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, whose memo triggered the proceedings, is yet to be summoned to testify. He reveals that his client has been unable to access official documents and other information necessary for his defense due to his suspension from office, and witnesses were not sworn on oath before giving evidence. Mr. Shitu also questioned the transformation of the Administrative Panel of Inquiry led by Justice Ayo Salami into a judicial commission as worrisome. He urged those bent on prejudicing the proceedings through false stories in the public space to think of the interest of the nation, stating that the only thing keeping his client going is his conviction of his innocence. His final words were that no one is entitled to condemn his client before he is heard or afforded the opportunity of defending himself. Suspected serial killer Sunday Shodipe has finally been rearrested in the war area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, after 12 days on the run. Now, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has warned police officers in that state against self-satisfaction following the rearrest of the suspect. It will be recalled that the 19-year-old is a prime suspect in multiple murder of innocent citizens at Akinyele local government area, Monia, Ibadan, Oyo State. Mr. Shodipe was arrested along with two others by the police on the 17th of July and charged to court. But barely a month after his arraignment, he escaped from custody. Following the clash of Sunday morning between members of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and personnel of the Department of State Service, the Enugu State Police Command has arrested 5 suspects in connection with the incident. Parading the suspect at the headquarters of the command in Enugu, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Ahmed Abdulrahman, disclosed that personnel of the DSS were on official assignment before they were intercepted by members of the proscribed body, allegedly carrying out their routine martial arts training at Community Secondary School Emene. The police commissioner explained that it took the combined efforts of the police, army and other security agencies to rescue one out of the two abducted DSS personnel. It is alleged that some of the fleeing suspects made away with firearms belonging to the DSS. President Donald Trump will be heading for the Republican convention ahead of the November election in an unusual position due to his drop in polls and more public attacks. The latest is by his sister, Marianne Trump Barry, who bitterly criticized him in audio recordings recently released in the country. She said her brother is unfit to be president, calling him cruel and voicing support for his rival, Joe Biden. But the president might be unfazed by these comments, as his advisors have been promising a more optimistic convention than that of the downer of Democrats last week. White House Counsellor Kellyanne Conway announced Sunday evening she will leave her post at the end of the month. Her announcement came on the eve of the Republican convention, where she is expected to speak. There are reports that she is resigning her position due to political differences between her and her husband, George Conway, who is a major Trump critic. According to Ms. Conway, herself and her husband are making big changes in their career for the sake of their family. George Conway tweeted that he was also withdrawing from the Lincoln Project, a group formed by anti-Trump Republicans. Meanwhile, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has given emergency authorization for the use of plasma to treat coronavirus patients. The technique uses antibody-rich blood plasma from people who have recovered from the disease and has already been used on over 70,000 people in the U.S. President Trump said the treatment could reduce deaths by 35%. It comes a day after he accused the FDA of impeding the rollout of vaccines and therapeutics for political reasons. That's the news today on Wake Up Nigeria.
The apron is off because we've done the very hard work.
Yeah.
The hard part is done. Woo.
Michael, you're still in here.
We're back
You're
with
still with
the
me.
suit and Mary Jane. We're rounded up. So
Yes.
what's up?
So we want to
Putting
put
everything
our
together
Nkobi together. We are done with
Wonderful.
all the preps. So right now everything has been done.
Okay, let's go.
So right now we'll be making our ncha. For ncha, you just need to add in your oil.
Okay. That's
Okay,
it.
with a spatula. Sorry, I just like doing this.
right. Okay.
Okay, and then
That's your
this is
stock.
the no, it's not stock. This is potash. Michael,
Potash.
don't forget that.
All right.
Okay, so you keep stirring the potash in the oil
Okay.
until it gives you that creamy consistency.
Oh,
Okay.
this is the base for the Nkwobi, yeah?
Yes, this is the Nkobi base. It's called ncha.
It's called Ncha.
Yes. So I've made the base. So I'm going to be adding my ehuru and uziza is grinded already. So I just added a little.
Wow.
Okay. Then I'll be adding 1 second.
Okay.
Onions, my
And
peppers.
your pepper. And is there tomatoes inside there?
No, there is no
Okay,
tomato.
all right. So
Michael.
it's just onions and pepper.
Yes.
Okay.
Then I will be adding the crayfish.
Oh.
Okay.
I know some people don't like crayfish or they are crayfish intolerant.
Yes, I have people like that. So they usually say, please don't put crayfish.
Don't put crayfish. What's
So-
doing you?
So I added the seasoning cubes.
Okay.
Some
seasoning
people
cubes.
like their uba inside the ncha.
Okay.
I don't like my uba inside the ncha. I just like eating it differently.
Separately, right?
Yes.
So that if you want to mix it, you do it to...
On your own.
All right.
Answering your own.
Okay.
So we're just going to taste and be sure that
Sure that it's the right consistency.
the consistency is there
Okay,
already.
so consistency is there.
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at the taste.
The taste.
Okay, if we need to add some more things. How does it taste?
So far.
It's good. All right, all right, all right. Wonderful, wonderful.
So we're going to be adding our
This one goes inside
chicken-
there?
Yes, our chicken
Everything?
and sobi.
Everything? Okay. You can put it back.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're going to add this. It wasn't you.
Look, you tasted the words. I need to taste Look, what do you call this?
Of course, you need to taste it.
What did you taste now? You tasted
I
what?
tasted the incha.
The incha. So the incha and the Tokia come together. She tasted incha, tasted Tokia.
Now.
What are you people shouting for? Come off it. This is chef. This is cook. When we tell you to learn how to cook, people do anyhow.
Okay, so right now we are done with our chick tubby.
All right.
And is mixed.
Wonderful.
So next thing we are going to do.
We have to round up very
serve.
soon.
Yeah, we are done.
Because we're done.
Yeah.
We'll get them to say the final thing. And all of that. But this would also go in.
Yes, that's a come at the
Wonderful.
final. Yes.
Wonderful. So yeah, that is me and myself and Chef Mary Jane. Almost done. We'll get to see what it looks like finally.
Sorry. Michael, my potatoes.
All right. But then Mary is on standby. We're going to do something on e-learning.
Okay.
Mary, take it away.
Wow. What's happening in the kitchen is very attractive. However, don't worry, I have my focus on point. We know we have to make money to eat such good meals, and so we also need the skills. By now, we also all know the importance of utilizing electronic technologies to access educational curriculum outside of a traditional classroom. And to do justice to that is Mercy George Igbafe, a digital expert and strategist in Agile Scrum digital marketing. A woman who is passionate about supporting Nigerians and African leaders to leverage on digital technology. She will be sharing with us digital channels to secure top-paying jobs locally and internationally. Great to have you on the show, Mercy.
Thank you again. This series, thank you for the opportunity to allow me to impact Nigerians. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
All right. Great to have you on the show. So, digital channels, let's hit the nail on the head. What are the digital channels available for people to improve upon their skills and all?
In my usual way, I like to share knowledge so that it's easier for people to understand and be able to embrace. Okay, let me just quickly share my screen, okay, so that way it's spot on, yeah? I like this quote by this beautiful lady, Wendy Pessel. It says, Google only loves you when everyone else loves you first, okay? So it means there are channels that would like you for Google to embrace you first, but a lot of us are not on the right channels, okay? And there are social platforms. There are three types of content that we can use online. There's owned, there's paid, and there's earned, which is influencer. Many of us have owned content that should sit on all these platforms, then Google will push us out there, i.e. Twitter, Instagram, although TikTok now is really ranking, it's going very fast. The big one for B2B and B2C, say you're looking for work, although that's a misconception. A lot of people think, oh, LinkedIn is just for work. It's the greatest disconnect for Africans. I've trained quite a lot of people on how to use LinkedIn. I've helped people in the UK to secure top paying jobs because I was able to position them right, leveraging keywords that they could use to be able to scale. And this is a report released by LinkedIn just in May. So they currently have, I'm sure the number has increased due to COVID, over 700 and something million people that are users. Let me show you where Nigeria is. You can see for a country of 200 million, we're just 4 million Nigerians on LinkedIn. I think that is just something that will blow your mind out of the park. And for me, I don't understand it. So if we need to position ourselves for the global market and stop thinking local and more be dynamic with global. I mean, the result that was released recently that Nigeria is ranking #1 with regards to social media usage. The big question is, what kind of usage are we doing? What are we doing online that would impact the world? You know? They say if it is not on Google, then you don't exist. Many over 200 million people that are on the internet are not on Google because their strategies and it's through content. And this is where a lot of people struggle till today, and which is really, really painful for many organizations and individuals. There are very great jobs that are out there. There are solid jobs as Scrum Masters, as business analysts, as project managers, as data analysts. I mean, I had a recent training that the data that I gathered, again, I'll show it to you, the data that I gathered was just mind-blowing, to say the least. Okay, so let me just quickly go. Okay, this is another program that I'm having for children. This is data. I love to work with data. So even with what link, yes?
Yeah, with all the data we have at hand, I think we should also look at the different channels and what usage can be employed. Okay, so you showed us a few channels. You showed us Facebook, you showed us Twitter, you showed us TikTok, LinkedIn as well. Now, looking at these digital channels, how can we make use of each, maximize them to actually improve upon ourselves?
Okay, I'll try and capture that in like 2 minutes that I have left, okay?
Okay.
So Twitter, a lot of us are terrified of Twitter, okay? And it's not supposed to be. It's because we don't have a strategy. There's 80% of the work and there's 20% of the strategy. A strategy that will sell you on all the social channels.
Okay.
I say LinkedIn. A lot of people are on LinkedIn. They just went and dumped their CV, which is a major disconnect. For business to thrive today, the channel that gives you a faster return on investment is LinkedIn. But you know, I can't really cover extensively because that's a complete different training that I have to break it down step after step. So what are you doing on Instagram? What kind of content are you doing that Google will help push your narrative into the world? The kind of thing that we are pushing more is more of entertainment. You have to show cleavage, you have to be controversial, you have to be dramatic. So everybody is looking for viral content. People are not being strategic to impact, to add value, to be able to change the lives. Like I was showing you, even the data, the current training that I have going on now for 3 months, they are like, one person said to me, Mercy, we didn't pay for this training. As far as I was concerned, you're training us for free. So if they understand that, and it's not as if they are not going for training, Nigerians are the most, are the consumers of anything, education, entertainment, whatever it is. But what exactly is that coming back to for yourself?
Now,
For
you mentioned
Google
LinkedIn, Mercy. LinkedIn and its uses and how people can actually maximize it. But you haven't exactly told us how to go about it, because it would be nice for us to know just how to really make use of these channels.
Okay, the number one, let your LinkedIn be optimized.
Okay.
But you see, because of SEO, search engine optimization, leveraging keywords, you would need someone like Lento.ng to come and help you put you through. You have to have an optimized LinkedIn. You have to be engaging on LinkedIn. You have to go there, not with the mindset, because that's one thing a lot of people do, to go and be selling. It's got nothing to do with sales. It has more to do with strategy. What am I doing? What value am I giving? You understand? So your LinkedIn must be optimized. You must have a strategy of value, because that is where CEOs are sitting. I am connected to world's billionaires that I will never be connected to on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook, because they will never connect with me. So LinkedIn is for professionals. And a lot of our technocrats are not leveraging that platform based on the data I've just shown you.
Wow. So for you to leverage as a professional, LinkedIn it is, not exactly other form of social media channels. Really enlightening. Thank you so much for your time, Mercy. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll continue this discussion next week, trying to learn more from you. Yes, to our very last guest on the show today, Otto Orondam. He is a young African passionate about social reform and development. Otto is the executive director of Slum to School, where he leads a team of 40 managers and hundreds of volunteers to provide equal opportunities for the disadvantaged children across slums and remote communities. And it's such a pleasure to have you on the show, Otto.
Indeed it is. Otto, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mercy and Marcino, right?
Yeah, I saw you trying to remember that one, but...
It's actually Mary.
Mary, sorry. Mercy was the guest we had from before.
Yes. Okay,
oh, yeah, because she was chatting me up. So, good morning, Mary and
Exactly.
Marcino. I think we have lots of M's this morning.
Exactly, we do.
Yeah.
All right, well, Otto, good to have you here. The good work that you've been doing has reached our ears. Everybody in Nigeria, and indeed perhaps the world, has heard about your efforts to helping disadvantaged children to have quite the life that they should, especially when it comes to education. First off, you're a young man, you're a dapper person, and with what you have, you could be absolutely stinking rich, but you've chosen to do this instead. So I would like to come at you from that angle. First off, why this is your passion and why you've chosen to go in that direction.
Very interesting question. I think what you call stinkingly rich varies, and I think the society somehow has actually made us forget the real value of what richness is. I would say being wealthy or having wealth is not a function of the material things, but more the immaterial things. And great societies are built not on the foundations of material things actually, but you know, the immaterial things like I had mentioned. And so a critical component of that is knowledge. And knowledge primarily is gotten through education. Now, I'm not talking about just schooling, because schooling is just a type of education, which is a formal education, but education, you know, education that gives you the opportunity to process information, you know, and I think that's one of the things that's lacking in our society and in so many developed world, so many developed countries, the developing world. And for me, growing up as a young person in Nigeria and realizing that the future of our country is at stake, you know, seeing the fact that we have one of the fastest growing populations in the world. We have the fastest growing population rate. At the moment I hear is over 3.2%, when countries like India, which is next, is still less than 2%. So it tells you that in about 30 years, Nigeria is going to be the third most populous nation in the world. We're going to have the youngest population, where over 85% of Nigerians will be below the age of 25 years. And we can see from the reality in our society today that in fact, even the kids who are in school aren't getting the kind of quality education they deserve. And this is not to talk about the millions of children who are not in school, the young people who get into the university but can't go into the university because there's no capacity.
Interesting answer.
The question then is, what really would make me feel fulfilled? Is it getting a car or buying a house, or actually seeing that we review the policies that builds the foundation of our education system so that the future of our nation is actually more secured? So I think that's the reason why I do what I do, and we all do what we do at some school.
Otto, every journey has a beginning, and I'm sure that there are so many of us that experience these things that you decided to take up yourself every day. What informed your decision to start this? Because it's one thing to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to just have a passive part in this, but instead of it, you're really actively participating. So what made you decide to do it? Is it a personal experience or something of the sort?
I get this question a lot, right? I get this question a lot. And sometimes I just ask people, why do you play football? Why are you a TV presenter? Why do you love doing what you do? I think somehow within us, there's something really that drives us and gives us that sense of fulfillment. You know, I think the word is actually what makes you fulfilled, what makes you sleep well at night. For me, I want to see a nation that's actually prosperous, not just for a few, but for everybody. You know, I want to see a Nigeria where I will be able to walk across different borders or different airports, and I'm respected. You know, my passport is respected.
Yeah.
You know, I actually want to see my future kids grow into a nation with so much pride. The pride that, you know, we see so many other countries across the world, or so many citizens across the world have, and we are not there yet as a nation. So the question is, what really should make me feel fulfilled? If I'm not working intentionally and working together with lots of other people to see that this is achieved, you know, and it does not have to be a part-time. This could be full-time for every one of us across the nation. The problem is that we are all disconnected from this reality because our nation hasn't given us a vision to pursue. You know, I wouldn't even say our nation, our leaders haven't given us a vision to pursue. And I think it all begins with a clear vision, having a very clear vision for our nation, for ourselves, and you know, I think that's really where the ball of contention is, and that's one of the things that drives me and thousands of other young people who I work with.
Now,
it's very inspiring because...
Otto, you know how people say, the popular belief is that when people start with this kind of background, trying to improve the lives of people around them, there's probably politics in the horizon. Is that the same for you, or you have absolutely no interest in politics?
To be honest, I'm not sure why people feel you must be a politician to make a difference. You're a TV presenter. You speak about the news every day. You advocate for change. Are you interested in politics? I'm not sure that's the answer for you. So the reason that I find it difficult understanding why people always have to type, personal interests when it comes to the national interest. I think it still takes us back to the flawed, foundations which are spoken about, that our society lacks a vision. And if there is a clear vision, every single one of us would work in cohesion towards attaining that vision, because we are putting the interest of our nation first. And if our nation has a great vision, there's nothing stopping our own vision to be tied into that. And the question you ask, politics in itself is not meant to be an end game. Politics, we all should be part of the political system, either actively or passively. Because at the end of the day, it's our nation, right? So the things we do should not be primary because we want to get into a political position. Wherever you are, you can make a difference. Whatever you're doing today can make a difference. You don't necessarily need to, and I don't want people always having that notion that everyone who does something for his or her nation is interested in politics. And even if they are, I think it should be part of our lives. Every one of us should be actively involved, because the state of our nation is where it is today because we've all even abandoned the political system to a few people, because we all believe it's a space that is only for a set of.
That's great, Otto.
Yeah, well, this is mindset.
Exactly. We love your mindset. We love the motive behind all of this and your passion. Yeah. And we absolutely love what you've done with the virtual learning classes that you have had on since the start of the pandemic. I mean, you are such a great personality, and a soul. And hey, we hope that you continue to go in leaps and bounds, and maybe even get us involved as well. We would love to join in your good work.
Indeed.
Thank you very much. And it's good having you here on the show today. And we look forward to having you physically even in the studio with us on Wake Up Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Otto.
Okay.
All right.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
All of us have been waiting for this time.
So we would admit.
When all M's come together for one world in the kitchen.
M. Thankfully, the food doesn't start with M.
No, well,
I would have been worried.
We'll make it so. Let's see what's happening in the kitchen.
Yes.
Mike has been overly anxious.
Is too
close to the cook.
Close to the food.
Yes.
Not the cook. I'm more interested in the food.
Look at his face now.
Yeah. What is wrong with you? Let's talk about the food. Chef Mary J, tell us about breakfast.
Okay, I made chick tobit this morning, and chick tobit is just a combination of chicken and turkey with the ncha sauce. I garnished with uziza leaves and onions. Then I served with pan-grilled sweet potato.
Wow. Wow. Okay,
you don't want to taste this potato with this sauce.
No, they are not.
No, what are you talking about?
Like, you don't want to taste
whoever is in the kitchen doesn't eat. Can you pass it here?
Listen, I think this is one time we should let Mike, because
you should let.
We are not letting Mike.
He might cry if we don't.
Mike cooked, so breakfast should be for us.
Listen.
Look at the person.
The potatoes, first of all. They have this punch, this local punch with it that, man, you love it.
For food. I've heard it all.
Well, listen.
Try the chick what now?
Chick tubby.
Chick tubby.
That's why the onions are rolling on your fork. You won't get it.
All of you just smiling anyhow. Maybe we should just stop. If you look at me anyhow, you're not even going to taste the remaining one.
I don't understand. Dramatic for Jimmy.
Then you don't mind it.
Oh. See.
I'm even looking at it.
See, in fact, let's just leave Mike to you.
Yeah, let's be going. It's okay.
Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you to Homely NG for the kitchen accessories. Thank you to everyone who has participated.
Thank you, Chef Mary Jane.
Thank you.
And I look forward to dancing around you in the kitchen next time when you come around, not Mike. Because whatever he enjoyed, this highness he got, I want to be a part of it.
So Mike is no longer a part of
this show. Has not closed.
He's just busy eating. Have a great week. And be sure to join us tomorrow, 6 a.m. sharp, bright and early. Bye.